covering every county. This is your statewide newscast. Arkansas Today.
Good afternoon. I'm Mallory Brooks. Thanks for joining us for Arkansas Today on this Thursday afternoon. We begin with the impeachment hearings that served as the backdrop for last night's fifth Democratic debate. 10 of the top candidates squared off in Atlanta and clashed over the president and a wide range of other issues. Here's NBC's Hallie Jackson.
First of all, we have a criminal living in the White House.
Impeachment immediately taking center stage at the fifth Democratic debate.
We have to establish the principle, no one is above the law. We have a constitutional responsibility, and we need to meet it.
I learned something about these impeachment trials. I learned, number one, that Donald Trump doesn't want me to be the nominee.
But Senator Bernie Sanders arguing Democrats' messaging must include more than attacks on the president.
We cannot simply be consumed by Donald Trump. Because if we are, you know what? We're going to lose the election.
Sanders standing alongside frontrunners Joe Biden, Elizabeth Warren, and Pete Buttigieg, who's rising in recent polls. The former vice president delivering what sounded like a dig at the South Bend mayor's experience.
To be commander-in-chief, there's no time for on-the-job training.
Buttigieg firing back.
There's more than 100 years of Washington experience on this stage. And where are we right now as a country?
Senator Amy Klobuchar, who previously suggested Buttigieg is benefiting from a gender bias, defending her position.
Women are held to a higher standard. Otherwise, we could play a game called Name Your Favorite Woman President. If you think a woman can't beat Donald Trump, Nancy Pelosi does it every single day.
One of the night's more memorable moments, the former vice president defending himself after this slip of the tongue.
I have more people supporting me in the black community that have announced for me because they know me. They know who I am. The only African-American woman that ever been elected to the United States Senate. A whole range of people.
No,
my point is,
that's not true. The other one is here.
I said the first.
And this choice of words from Biden on fighting domestic violence against women, raising questions.
Vice President Biden, the Me Too movement has forced a cultural reckoning around the issue of sexual violence and harassment against women in America. Are there specific actions that you would take early in your administration to address this problem?
We have to just change the culture, period, and keep punching at it and punching at it and punching at it. It will be a big, no, I really mean it. It's a gigantic issue, and we have to make it clear from the top, from the president on down, that we will not tolerate it.
The 10 candidates drawing distinctions on policy like health care, but mostly going after the president more than each other.
He has conducted foreign policy since day one, born out of a very fragile ego.
He's relying on 17th century security technologies like a moat full of alligators or a big wall.
And that was Hallie Jackson reporting. The two witnesses facing a House panel for impeachment hearings today. Fiona Hill is the former top Russia expert on the National Security Council. Hill is expected to explain to lawmakers the narrative that Ukraine was behind meddling in the 2016 election is a story invented by Russia. She's expected to urge the committee to focus on President Trump's actions over conspiracy theories propagated by Republicans. Hill is also expected to detail how former National Security Advisor John Bolton saw Rudy Giuliani as a danger. Also testifying along with Hill is an official from the American Embassy in Ukraine, David Holmes. Now to Texarkana, where a local pastor has been arrested, accused of continuous sexual abuse of a young child. 58-year-old Wesley Logan turned himself in last night after seeing posts by the police department stating they were looking for him on social media. Officials say Logan is accused of abusing a victim on a regular basis since she was 12 years old. The victim is now an adult and decided to speak out.
We do believe that there may well be additional victims out there, so we ask anybody who has any information or perhaps they were a victim themselves that they would contact the police department so that we can do an investigation and hold him accountable for any other actions that he may have done as well.
Logan is being held at the Bi-State Jail. Bond is set at $100,000. A suspect has been arrested in connection with a Jonesboro homicide. According to police, 31-year-old Corey McCullen was arrested yesterday in Missouri by Caruthersville Police and the Pemiscot County Sheriff's Office. He's suspected in the shooting death of 29-year-old Keisha Kreigler, whose body was found in her home on Meadowbrook yesterday morning. The investigation into the death is ongoing, and anyone with information is asked to call police. XNA will be one of the first airports to offer flights on a first-of-its-kind regional jet. United Airlines CEO Oscar Munoz was at the airport to talk about the new CRJ 550. It's the world's only 50-seat regional aircraft that features space for every customer to bring a roller bag on board, a self-serve refreshment center for passengers, along with other amenities.
It's a great connection from here to Chicago. It is an aircraft we've introduced around our system, and the first market we wanted to try out is your wonderful location. This is an awesome airport, great people. You're growing like there's no tomorrow, and it's great to see that. So we wanted to be continue to be part of that expansion.
Munoz says XNA is one of 15 regional airports to feature this new jet. It may not feel like Christmas, but it's at least beginning to look a lot like it. Work is being done all around El Dorado to get in the Christmas spirit. The one thing people are most excited about, the Christmas tree. It's been more than 5 years since the town had the tree up in downtown, and getting the decorations has been a tedious job that has taken a community effort.
It was tedious work, and it was back-breaking work. We couldn't have done it without the volunteers.
The community helped raise $30,000 to get the lights and tree up. The lighting ceremony is tonight at 5:30.